While connecting to a database in Visual Studio Code is not required, it may prove helpful as you write queries and interact with the database during the development process. This video demonstrates how to create a connection within VS Code and use it to write and test queries as well as view database table structures and content. VS Code needs an extension to perform these tasks. The database being used in this video is Maria, which is MySQL compatible, and the tool has to be capable of working with this type of database. The extension being used is SQLTools. To begin, start your web and database servers. In this video, I am using XAMPP. Once the servers have successfully started, check the port being used by the database server. In my case, the default 3306 port is being used. Prior to configuring the connection in VS Code, you will need 4 pieces of information: the port number, the server name or its IP address, the database name, and the user credentials, including username and password. With these items at hand, launch VS Code and make sure the SQLTools extension is installed and enabled. Click on the icon in the Activity panel. At the top, find the Connections bar and click the Add New Connection icon. A new document will open and prompt you for the information. The connection name is only a label to help you identify the connection from any others that you may create later. Name it clearly and uniquely to identify it from any others that you may create. Change the dialect as needed, but as we are creating a MySQL type connection, we will not alter it. Server 127.0.0.1 is the default IP address for our local server, and my database server is running on port 3306, so I will not alter either of these. Finally, I will add the name of my database. In my case, it is Acme, all lowercase. Then I will add the username for the database. The proxy user should have already been created. In my case, the name is iClient. I will next enter the password that belongs to the user that I just entered. Finally, I will scroll down and click Create. See if the new connection appears in the connections list. You can also scroll back to the top of the new connection page to see if a green bar appears indicating success. If the connection is present, click the plug icon to the right of the name. If everything works, you are now connected to the database and it will appear beneath the connection. If there are other databases that can be accessed with the same user and credentials, they will appear as well. You can expand the database in order to view the tables, fields, and data. To view the data for a table, drill down until the table is visible. Then click the looking glass icon, which should have a tooltip of Show Table Records. Wait a moment while the data is queried. A new results window will open showing the query used at the top and then the columns and data beneath. To write your own queries to interact with the database, return to the Connections label and click the New SQL File icon. Write your query or queries in the file, making sure to end each one with a semicolon. Make sure you save the file when done. Open the command palette in VS Code. In the palette, type SQLTools connections : run this file. As you type this, the correct command should appear beneath the typing area in the list. Select it and press your Enter key. The query or queries, if there are more than one in the file, will run and the results will appear. Each query, if there is more than one, will appear in its own tab. If a query fails, go back to the SQL file, alter your query, save, and run the file again. This is a handy way to see data as well as the names of databases, tables, and fields while writing code in VS Code.